On this episode of Cape Media News, a loss like no other for Cape Cod. Yarmouth police officer, now Sergeant Sean Gannon, lost his life in the line of duty. Frequent storms mean channel changes in Chatham, and we'll take a look inside Canacare docks in Dennis. These stories and more. This is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Sarah Colvin. Our community is shattered by the loss of one of our own, a brave man, a young man, a Yarmouth police officer, a dedicated community servant, a husband, a brother, a son, a friend. Cape Cod is mourning the death of 32-year-old Sean Gannon, an officer who served his community with pride and love. Gannon was killed in the line of duty on Thursday, April 12th. We are still in shock. Gannon was shot and killed while serving a warrant at a home in Marston's Mills. He was killed by a man with 125 prior arraignments on his record, a man who was hiding in the attic, a man who should have been behind bars. 29-year-old Thomas Latanowicz is behind bars now. He was arraigned last Friday on murder charges and is being held without bail. The community has reached out in so many ways since Gannon's death. Police officers and first responders lit the roadways with blue following Gannon's body to the state medical examiner's office last week, staying with him 24/7 until he was laid to rest with honor, surrounded by love on Wednesday of this week. Thousands of police officers from across the country arrived on Cape Cod to help escort Sean from the funeral home in Hyannis to St. Pius Church in Yarmouth. Scores of community members lined the routes to pay their respects. Hundreds attended the funeral on Wednesday. A line of uniformed officers that stretched nearly a quarter mile marched down Station Ave to honor our fallen officer, our Sean. He was laid to rest in Chandler Gray Cemetery in Yarmouth. In the days since the shooting, the community has rallied around the Gannon family and will continue to do so to show support and love following this tragic loss.
K-9 Sergeant Sean Gannon, an 8-year veteran of the Yarmouth Police Department, was killed in the line of duty while serving a search warrant in the town of Barnstable. Sergeant Gannon served the town of Yarmouth alongside his K-9 partner Nero with honor, respect, and courage. K-9 Sergeant Gannon, thank you for your dedicated service to the town of Yarmouth. Thank you for your unwavering faith, love, and service to your family, friends, community, and all those you touched. You will be missed immensely, and you will never be forgotten. 241 to all units. Last radio call for J7. K-9 Sergeant Sean Gannon. Badge number 5992. K-9 Sergeant Sean Gannon. End of watch. April 12, 2018. May you rest in peace, sir. We have the watch from here.
Up next, we'll take a look at Chatham's changing coastline.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in! Help yourself to anything.
That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
Fishermen and recreational boaters will have to adjust their GPS. Channels are changing due to recent winter storms. Gabrielle Rawson reports from Chatham.
2 major storms and several nor'easters have caused major damage to coastal waterways this winter on Cape Cod. Chatham's Coastal Resource Director Ted Keon met with us to discuss the area's inlet development in Chatham.
We're directly opposite one of the inlets that broke through the outer beach in 2007 of Nauset Beach. So we actually now have 2 inlets, an island between them. The northern inlet from 07 is directly opposite here, and because it's located closer to Pleasant Bay, which is the big water body that's to the north here, everyone is expecting that this northern inlet will become the dominant inlet, whereas the southern inlet is slowly starting to close up and fall apart.
High-energy waves from the open ocean push sand and sediment into the harbor, causing erosion that makes navigation difficult for boaters.
We have 2 kind of class of vessels that, are very interested in this. We have the normal recreational fleet from the region that launches at landings and comes down from Orleans and Harwich. They want to come through here and get out the inlets to go fishing or just drive around, this area. They're going to have some, I think, problems in new shoal systems. The bigger concern, in a sense, for Chatham specifically, is our fishing fleet. We have the largest commercial fishing fleet on Cape Cod. The fish pier is just to the south here, and it's a very active, very important industry for Chatham and the region. We don't know yet how these changes are going to impact the fishing fleet's ability to get out these inlets.
2 years ago, the town began a plan to dredge the area, but doing so has presented challenges.
There has been a recurrent problem down this way to get access into Riders Cove, which is one of our more important town landing launching areas and mooring areas. We frankly were supposed to dredge that this past winter. Unfortunately, again, the bad weather delayed the county dredge program, which is really what we and other towns use to do this dredging. They couldn't get here.
To assist boaters in navigation, Keon hopes to take aerial footage of the changing shoals. The harbor master plans to make similar assessments from the water by updating channel locations for buoy placement.
Whatever channel you may have had last year in this area may not at all be the one for this coming year.
For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
A medical marijuana dispensary is now open in Mashpee. Up next, we'll take a look at a local organization that can help you get your card. Medical marijuana is now legal in Massachusetts, and the Cape's first dispensary opened this month in Mashpee. Gabrielle Rawson paid a visit to Canacare Docs in Dennis to learn more about how to obtain a medical marijuana card.
Canacare Docs in South Dennis is accepting new patients. We met up with them to learn more about their services and to find out how to get a cannabis card for medical purposes.
Hi, my name's Jamie. I'm the Assistant Site Coordinator here at Canacare Docs in South Dennis. Our job here is to evaluate patients to see if they're eligible for medical marijuana.
There are a number of conditions eligible for the use of medical marijuana.
Any debilitating condition can qualify. So it can range from anything from something that is severe as cancer or glaucoma, HIV, AIDS, to something even mental conditions, anxiety, depression, arthritis. You know, it can be any range from small to big.
For many Canacare patients, marijuana provides an alternative to opiates by working like an anti-inflammatory to relieve pain, promote sleep, and aid digestion. But first, you've got to get a card.
When you come in here, you're going to be seeing two people. You're going to see the cannabis consultant. They're going to go over your vitals, your blood pressure, your paperwork, make sure everything like that is squared away. After that, you're going to get evaluated by a practitioner, and they will evaluate your medical history to see if you're eligible for cannabis use. They don't diagnose, they just see if what your diagnosis already is eligible for the cannabis program. So first you have to see the doctor, and then you have to go in, register online to actually get your physical card. Once you have your card, you can either cultivate, you can go to a dispensary, a registered medical dispensary, and when you leave here you have a list of them, or you can register a caregiver, which is usually a friend or a family member who will kind of oversight your process, and they can go to the dispensary or carry your medicine on your behalf.
Dispensaries offer a higher quality, tested product.
You don't actually know what's in the medicine or in your bag from cannabis from Joe Schmo down the road. Cannabis is like a sponge, so whatever pesticides or whatever it's grown with, it's going to absorb everything. So when you ingest cannabis, then you're absorbing it. So when you go to the dispensary, you're paying for those testing processes. You can see how many pesticides are in it, if there's mold or if there's any contaminants. You can actually get the ability to see that you're getting quality medicine.
Since Canacare opened in January of 2014, requests for medical marijuana cards have skyrocketed from about 8 per day to 24 per day.
Cannabis treats so many different conditions and with very little side effects.
For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
Time now for our weekly visit to the MSPCA. It's Cape Media News, Adorable Adoptables.
This week on Cape Media News, meet MSPCA's Adorable Adoptables and learn all about their fundraiser to support pets in need.
So we have a clothing drive coming up April 21st. At the Com Fire Station. We are collecting all soft goods that people don't want anymore. So old blankets, towels, clothes, accessories, shoes. 20 cents for every pound of clothing that we collect goes to help animals in need.
Animals like Missy, the sweet tabby, or Bender, the all-black shorthair, plus many more like this week's featured pets.
Prince is about a 1-year-old boxer lab mix. He is really friendly and goofy. He came to us because the family didn't have time. He lived in his prior home with kids as young as 2 years old, and he's great with them. So he can definitely go to a home with kids. Cats are unknown. We're probably thinking he would want to chase them too much. So cats are an if, because he hasn't lived with them before. Dogs, he is good with dogs, so he can go to a home after a dog meet. His adoption fee is $250, and because he's young, he still has a bit of follow-up training that he's gonna need. So we're offering a complimentary session within 30 minutes of the MSPCA to help with his training. Month-old guinea pigs, and they came here to the MSPCA because there accidentally was a male and a female who had babies. Boys should be separated from their mom at 3 weeks of age. Now is the best time, if you have another guinea pig at home, to introduce these guys, because there's not much fight over territory, so it's super easy. Our adoption fee is $25, and all we need for the application process is a picture with your ID in it of the enclosure you plan on having them go into. It should be 12 square feet in size.
If you'd like to adopt one of today's adorable adoptables, call or visit the MSPCA today.
Thank you for tuning in to Cape Media News, bringing you local, authentic news for Cape Cod. Send comments, questions, and story ideas to news@capemedia.org. We'll be back next Friday with another brand new show. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin.